one thing that we haven't talked about I think we've only talked once about it on the show ever was Formula One. And I think it's worth talking about today because Lewis Hamilton is no longer going to be with Mercedes. And that is a huge deal. For those of you guys who don't follow Formula One or racing, it is the equivalent of Tom Brady leaving the Patriots to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's interesting because of who is also going to more than likely be his teammate in Charles Leclerc, who is the top 3 or 4 racer or driver in Formula One as well. And I tell you what, guys, for those of you guys aren't familiar with Formula One, there's usually like in the teams, there's one guy who's clearly better than the other, so that like you always know your front runner, your front guy for your team. And Charles Leclerc was always that guy, still is, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works because everybody knows their lane, everybody knows who's the better driver. And so I don't know how that'll work out. Ferrari has always been known to kind of like make weird decisions. And it's not that if you didn't have a chance to sign Lewis Hamilton, you wouldn't. But now it's like, well, what do you do with Charles Leclerc, who is clearly your guy that you've stuck around with for a while? And maybe it's that.
Do they score differently? Like, does a lead driver like score more points? Like, is it wouldn't you want both of your drivers to be like top dogs, or like is there like a strategic way where like points wise it's different?
Yeah. So like, for example, every single one of these drivers have egos, by the way. So just because they're teammates doesn't mean that like they're rooting for their guy. Like it's just it's very weird. It's very, very weird. So they compete with each other too. So even though they're teammates and they're like, oh yeah, like we won all these points, it's just the ego thing, man. You look at Max Verstappen, who was with Red Bull, and Checo. It just is very clear that they're not like really close with each other, even though they're happy that maybe their team wins or what have you. It obviously the goal is to get your team to win, but there's also these individual awards. It's not like football. It's not like American sports. They want to be the guy that wins every single time. So with Lewis Hamilton being a 6-time champ with Mercedes and the greatest driver of all time going to Formula One, I'm just interested to see how this all plays out, especially with Ferrari and Charles Leclerc.
And how much did the stock go up for Ferrari?
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. So today, if you guys don't know, I do have another channel that's involving investing, and so I keep a close eye on stocks. Yeah, the Ferrari last year, Ferrari jumped up 60% just by itself, and then today alone went up another 13% on the news of Lewis Hamilton becoming the driver for Ferrari. So yeah,
do you know how big the deal was for him to move?
I don't know yet. I actually didn't look that up, but it's a lot. I mean, they probably 20-30 million a year easy.
Oh wow.
Yes. We're bringing back the Dr. Evil, by the way. Anytime there's a lot of money, I think we should bring it back. I think we should bring it back.
Justin Madubuike
when Justin Madubuike signs that big contract in Baltimore.
Yes. Adley potentially. You get it going out.
I'm just saying. So, I mean, but again, it's truly, this is why like we like talking about it. It's fascinating to me, and that the fact that move sent a stock flying.
That's what was like when Brad told us originally. That's what blew my mind was I didn't realize that, like, because obviously like a Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, people don't then go, oh, the Buccaneers, stock went up by this much, but it actually does in F1 impact that. So that's crazy that it can really sway a stock much.
Yeah.
Well, so Formula One's the second most popular sport in the world next to soccer. So like it's just the globe is freaking out right now. And it would be kind of like the equivalent of like Tom Brady going to play for the Saints while Drew Brees was still playing.
Well, I have another question. Was this expected to happen, or was it just like out of the blue craziness?
It was kind of out of the blue. I don't think it was unexpected that Lewis Hamilton was going to move on. I think it was out of the blue that he was going to go to Ferrari because of who was already there.
Well, I still think that in Formula One, the best Formula One racer is John Girard and all of that, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys know John Girard? Do you remember him?
Sound like a dog with peanut butter on the roof of your mouth.
What?
Have you? Do you not know who John Gerard is, Kevin?
No.
Zach?
No.
What? Oh my goodness! I can't make any movie quotes around these people because the movies just came out when you guys were born.
We're old, dude. Face it. We are old men. Us three right here. We're old.
Yeah,
Brad, you
we
know
are.
who John
Okay.
Gerard is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to explain to you. Yeah.
Yeah, Zach and I are the TikTokers.
Okay,
You guys have never seen. You guys have never
yeah.
seen,
How about Shake and Bake?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
movie?
Talladega Nights.
Thank you. So
Classic.
who's
Ricky
the,
Bobby.
so
John
who's the driver
Gerard
that
is.
rivals Ricky?
Oh,
Is that John?
John Gerard.
Goodness gracious! Sorry, let's get back on track. You guys just ruined it for me.
okay.